the controls of the original Tomb Raider games is an abomination. Your character feels floaty and the platforming especially is atrocious. Trying to climb places or jump across platforms feels like shit. The game expects you to be in a very precise position for any of the jumps to work. It feels like you have no control over your character and you are just playing a game of Simon Says. The action of the game is barely serviceable, the puzzles are mostly trial and error without much thought, and the level design can be deceiving. You can barely tell what you see. Even the graphical update of the remaster doesn't really help much. In fact, there are times it makes things worse. Some areas are way darker and you can't possibly see where you are going or what you are doing. It really feels like the remaster was done mostly by an AI and this re-release is just a cash grab. Honestly, the only people who should be buying these games are old fans purely out of nostalgia. Being one of the people who grew up with these games, I will tell you why they were so popular. Back in the day, a video game only needed to do one thing right to be considered fun and playable. In this case, it was way more than one. The mystery of ancient tombs, the puzzles, and even the artificial difficulty were considered good enough reasons for these games to thrive. And of course, there were many who were into these games because they found the main character hot. Yes, this is what was considered hot back in the day, as far as video games go. Nowadays, there are way better games out there, and even if they have one major flaw, they are considered bad, at least for people with high standards like me. The way the Tomb Raider games evolved was not really a correct one. They kept most of the stuff similar to the old games, with the only major improvement being the graphics. Also, the cinematic garbage and quick time events made everything worse. The Tomb Raider developers think they can keep releasing the exact same game over and over again and expecting it to sell well, and once that stopped working, they decided to modernize the franchise in the worst way. What this franchise really needs is to learn a couple of tricks from other games. For example, they could learn a lot from the level design of the Dark Souls games. The traps and the pathways being connected make the exploration interesting. They could learn how to do puzzles from the Resident Evil games, and the gameplay needs a huge change. Stealth mechanics with good AI like the Metal Gear Solid franchise would be the right way to go. Of course, all these changes require actual effort, something the developers are not willing to put. So until then, the only people who can enjoy these games will be Polygon tit-sucking losers.